People keep asking me for my advice. They watch my channel, they watch all the documentation of everything that I recorded that would happen to my family and me. And I've given the best advice I know, and perhaps I've been a little too soft and not quite direct enough. This is going to hurt some people's feelings, and I'm not trying to be cruel, but this is what they call tough love. If you find yourself in the position that my kids and I found ourselves because of my poor choices back in the day to marry a woman that I was and make 4 children with, that a woman that I was not compatible with, you are going to suffer, and it's going to be hard. And there is no magic pill. There's no magic way out of this. Perhaps if you have millions of dollars and you can hire an attorney or a firm of attorneys to help you out, maybe you might stand a shot, but it's going to cost you dearly. It's going to cost you every dime you've got, because that is how the system is set up. At age 47, I'm almost 4 years sober. And I'm happy that I still look like this. And it's all and only because I made up my mind that I was on a path of destruction. And I've still got life. My kids are all grown now. But I still want to be there for my kids. I've still got a lot of life that I want to enjoy. I'm this close to being financially free from all debts due to my diligence in studying the crypto market. That's simply the path that I've chosen. This is the part that's going to sound cruel or mean, possibly even misogynistic, due to how tender the fucking feelings are of the entire world these days. Young men, if you're still single and you don't have a significant other or any kids with some crazy woman, stay that way. Do not get married until you are at least, I would say, generally speaking, into your 30s. In addition to that, young men, all men, have absolutely no business in modern times, this is just my opinion, in modern times, getting married if you are not financially stable, if you are not completely sober, if you are not completely daily getting, or may not completely, but daily striving to get in shape. The world is coming to a head. The craziness is it's going to get worse. Young women, obviously I don't know what it's like to be a woman. If you keep perpetually going and falling for these alcoholic loser men and getting pregnant by them, do not be shocked when they don't show up and do the right thing and help raise that child by any and all available means necessary. There is obviously a huge problem with single motherhood in this country. Personally, I think it's being deliberately done on purpose via social media, retarded influencers like the Kardashians or these OnlyFans whores. These are not people to look up to. They're the people that society tries to get you to look up to, but these are not people to look up to. Men, this rock and roll, sex, drugs, do anything you want all the time, be the bad boy, that is equally destructive behavior. There is a lot of conspiracy theories as to why it's like that. I fell for it myself. But there is no such thing as, if you're already in this mess, that you have watched my videos that I've recorded for years, there's no such thing as a magic pill. You're not getting out of this without a shitload of pain. And I mean a lot of pain. Both you, your family, your children. It's not happening. You've got limited choices. You can either abandon them all and just keep diving down let's just drink and do what society says is funny and promote alcoholism and party. Or you can make up your mind that all alcohol is destructive and all alcohol is poisonous to humans. And once you make up your mind that that is in fact the case, it's real easy to stay quit. You don't need modern therapy. You don't need, and I'm not going to be the guy that's going to pussyfoot around saying, well, it's just, Caleb, you're a little hard on people. Just mock the disease, not the addict. Fuck that. We're all adults here. Grow up, put the bottle down, stop ruining your life, which by extension will ruin your kids' lives. You're setting a terrible example, and the only reason I know this is because I did it. I did it. I chose alcohol in my own personal way of dealing with the pressures of the family court. I chose alcohol because I was weak. I was pathetic. And I've now have made a decision. Come this August 21st of 2024, I will be 4 years completely sober and completely free. I am not an alcoholic. I used to be an alcoholic, but I am fully recovered now, and I'm no longer an alcoholic. And that's going to go against everything that the AA people had pounded into their heads for decades. I'm not trying to shit on AA. There's some positivity that comes out of AA. But to brainwash people into thinking, well, they've told me I used to be an alcoholic. I haven't drank alcohol in 20 years, but I guess, hi, I'm Caleb and I'm 20 years sober and I'm a recovering alcoholic, is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It's just as brainwashing as anything that the woke society is promoting out there. It's dumb. It makes no sense. And too many people have fallen for it. And I don't care how many people I lose because of this. Subscribers or even personal friends or even family members. Possibly, if it came to it, even my own children, who are all adults now. I don't care how controversial that is, how many feelings that hurts. It doesn't matter. Alcohol destroys everyone that stays in contact with it, and the people that are close to them, which is why I am such an isolationist now these days. I enjoy being out in the middle of absolutely nowhere as often as possible, because I'm not going to remain close to alcoholics, because what happens is they go in this downward cycle. They get in wrecks, they drunk call, they say stupid shit that they they wouldn't say otherwise. And I'm not going to get or remain close to people like that, because when they ultimately die because of their stupid choices, I'm the one that'll be heartbroken as well. So that's it. Stay sober. On the help side with family court, for some reason, far too many people think that calling or talking to me is there's some kind of magic pill. There's not. If you're reaching out to me for help regarding family court matters, I've said this for years, it's because you're already broke. I have set up a link that is, I think it's still on my channel, but it was a link to talk to me, pay 80 or $100 or something and talk to me for an hour. Nobody ever does it except for one guy, I don't even remember where he's from, other side of the world somewhere. And we had a nice conversation, but I've never heard from him since. I totally get that people would find maybe some comfort in talking to this internet guy that's been through this, because now they're going through the same thing. If I haven't already taken it down, I'm going to take it down soon, because it's pointless. I've tried, I really thought I could help people by talking to them, but I've found that my time it may not be valuable to everyone else, but to me, my time is valuable. I do not have the capability to talk to dozens or hundreds, certainly not thousands of people and intimately hear their stories, because it drags me down too. I have put out there, and it's all on my channel if you care to look it up. I've put out there my best advice and what I know to do. So I'm not going to be talking to people individually, and I'm not particularly for money. Again, I only had one person sign up. I made $80 or 100, whatever it was, minus the commission that the service provider made. And that sounds mean, and I'm not trying to sound mean. I'm trying to help you by telling you there is no way out. Man or woman, father or mother, if you find yourself in the situation that me and my kids found ourselves in all those years ago, again, because of my poor choices in choosing a mate and the timing and everything, me being so young, her being young as well, you have really only one choice. If you want to remain involved with your children's lives, you are going to suffer. The best thing you can do from here on out is do the best you can to remain sober. And well, you should just absolutely remain sober. Remain sober, cut out all the fat in life, all the things that drag you down, because you're going to go broke. That's the system is designed specifically for you to go broke. The only thing you can do, cut out all the fat. What I mean by cutting out the fat, I don't mean diet. I mean buying the $2.50 coffees at 7-Eleven, or the 5 or 6 or however much Starbucks charges these days. I wouldn't know because I don't drink Starbucks, or not very often. You drink the 5-cent a cup coffee at home. You cut out the BS. You buy just the protein you need. You eat at home. You certainly don't go out to eat. You figure out ways to explain to your children when you get custody of them, whether it's the mother or the father, why you're so broke. They're maybe not why, because little kids, depending on their age, they can't necessarily understand the why, but you explain to them, look, we're broke. I can afford to go to the grocery store. I can get the ground beef that's on sale. I have to cut coupons. That's just how it is. I did it for years. And again, now that my kids are grown, I still continue to do it. My crypto investment is about, in my opinion, about to pay off. And when it does pay off, I'm going to have a lot of money, and I'm going to be able to pay off all this old debt that has been accumulating for over a decade, arguably 2 decades. But when I do cash it out, I'm going to continue to drink the 5-cent a cup coffee. I'm not going to go buy the biggest Escalade there is. I'm going to continue to be frugal, because that's how it is. This society has just set it up to where you are lied to indulge and sleep with everything that moves, and to get drunk all the time, or in some cases just have a classy glass of wine occasionally, which always turns into, translation, keeps you a drip-fed alcoholic. It always turns into more than just on the weekends. It turns into daily. And no one is exempt from it. And when I say that, I know it irritates people, some people. Well, I drink wine occasionally. Okay, great. Well, my dad's 99 and he still has a shot of this every now and then. Okay, great. No matter what the story is, I promise you there is extra unnecessary pain that is always added to the alcoholic. Always. There is no exception. And if you are really that dumb that you think, well, I see what Caleb's saying and it pisses me off, but I see all the alcoholics all around me that hide it and do drunk calling and get DWIs, but I'm willing to bet that I can be the exception, because I knew one person or two people in my entire life that are still in their 80s and 90s and getting drunk occasionally. I promise you, those people are in, the older you get, those people are in insufferable pain that they probably don't tell anybody because it's humiliating, or there could be a myriad of reasons why they don't say anything, but it's just unnecessary pain. Why bother? Why bother at all? So anyway, young men, if you're still single and don't have any kids and you're broke, stay that way. No, don't stay broke. Stay single, stay childless for now. In my experience, you've absolutely got to get a hold of your mental health, your spiritual health, your physical health, and your pocketbook health. And you've got to get ripped and jacked, because you men are called, no matter what religion you are, or even if you're an atheist, you are called to be a provider and a protector. Period. End of story. You're supposed to protect and provide. Who are you supposed to protect? Your family. And if you're broke and fat and lazy and you knock some crazy bitch up, you are not capable of being what you are called to be, a provider and a protector. You simply cannot do it. Women, you're not called to be protectors and providers. You're certainly not called to be promiscuous. Again, I know that's going to piss off a lot of people, because look around. The world is full of promiscuous women. Full! Over the top. Oh, it's flowing over. Which would also explain why the world is plumb full of single mothers. Single mothers absolutely cannot raise well-adjusted children by themselves without the influence of a strong male role model. And again, I don't care how mad that makes people. I don't care who it pisses off, how close we are in real life. It doesn't bother me a bit, because I couldn't care less. My kids are grown. I'm in shape. I've got my nest egg that's about to come to fruition. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not trying to get in the sack with all these crazy mothers that just constantly want to get close to me. It doesn't bother me a bit. And I'm not trying to say this to be mean or cruel to mothers or fathers, but there are some absolute truths that must be acknowledged, because apparently we've gone too far as a society not acknowledging it. And look where we're at. A bunch of generations of single moms raising children without the presence of a strong male role model. And this is what it gets us. And it's going to get worse. Eventually it'll get better. I don't know when that'll happen. Maybe it'll happen in my lifetime. Maybe it'll happen in my kids' lifetimes. I don't know when it'll happen, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. So to answer your question, for those of you who keep emailing me, no, I will not talk to you on the phone, because I don't have the capacity to get emotionally involved any longer. It's too much. It's too overwhelming. I've talked to thousands of people over the years, and it doesn't do any good. They keep making the same mistakes. No one's listening to me anyways. So what's the point? Why should I talk to you? If nobody's going to listen and do what I say, get sober, stop using the family courts as a strong arm to get your ex to do what you want to do, because the family court is not there to help. They're all in it together, all of them, every single one of them to a degree. Some worse than others, but all of them to a degree. Lawyers and judges and the lawmakers who make the laws that the judges go by, they're all in it to a degree, every single one of them. Fortunately for me, like Judge Billingsley, she listened to me. It worked out, but anyways, get sober, get your life together, find out, tell yourself what is important to you. Is it more important that you get your sleep and so you get drunk and go to sleep? Is it more important for you to deal with your stress by drinking? Or is it more important for you to remain sober and get your physical mind in shape, get your body in shape? Hello, this is not steroids. Steroids works only to a degree. I've never taken steroids a day of my life. And I don't look like Schwarzenegger. I don't, that chisel, I mean, I look good. I know I do. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm just stating an obvious fact. But I'm not cut like cut like that. And you don't have to be. In fact, steroids, in my opinion, is just, I don't know if it's as bad as alcohol. I wouldn't know because I've never done it. But there's just an awful lot of people that have done steroids that they don't tend to live very long. Their lives get cut short. So that's my 2 cents, and I'm still not going to be really promoting this channel very often. At the time of recording, I plan on uploading this to YouTube because, yeah, I'll still get paid a little bit, but it isn't very much. It's certainly not enough to live on if you own property or own a house, of which I do not. I roam. I've learned to live in my tent. I've still got that tiny house in Florida that Blaine is still in. It's not very much. I gave $3,000 for it. I mean, it's a shithole, but I mean, it's better than sleeping in the streets. But I've enjoyed learning how to live out of my car if I have to. Going to see family and friends and taking odd jobs here and there, which is what I'm doing at the moment. And then I'm going to move on until my ship comes in. But I'm still sober. I'm still remaining optimistic that things will get better, even though sometimes it doesn't look that way. If you stay drunk and you don't continually to work on your mind, your body, your soul, and your pocketbook, it will get worse. You will remain a wage slave, and that's just how it is. Short of having millions of dollars to hire a lawyer to pay off, basically bribe the system to get your kids, you're screwed. And I'm not telling you that to make you hopeless or seem hopeless. I'm telling you that because that's what I went through. I've been basically broke my entire adult life. I've had everything taken from me, and yet here I am. My kids they're doing well enough, but my kids are screwed up. I'm not gonna lie. They're just as screwed up as anyone else. They're struggling. My family's screwed up, but there's a part of my family, such as my parents and me, who diligently and actively stay sober on purpose and continue to work out. My own parents, after not talking to mom and dad for 5 years and us reuniting a little over a year ago, it's amazing. Watching mom and dad, working out with them, watching them climb that mountain and continue to stay sober, and it's really fun. I didn't know, at one point, I didn't know if I'd ever see my parents again. I just didn't know. But I kept staying sober. I kept training. I kept working out. I kept speaking the truth about alcohol. And here we are. My parents and I are doing great. And I couldn't be more thankful. My kids still have their problems. They're young. They still make stupid choices, just like I did. I'm not talking about them, but I'm not faulting them either, any more than I'd fault anyone else who's made dumb choices that I made, the same stupid choices I made. Life is pain. Life will always be pain. But there are steps that you can take to make it significantly less painful. Don't get married young or at all. Don't have children young or at all. Don't borrow money. Those are my 3 pillars for the longest time. Once I sobered up and learned, I've added a 4th: stay sober. If you don't get married younger at all, don't have children young at all, don't borrow money, and stay sober. If you'll abide by those 4 things in life, your painful life will be significantly less painful. I promise you that. Again, life is pain. Don't let anyone bullshit you. Life will always be pain. I don't know why, but that's just a universal truth. If you can learn to manage it and be smart about it by not having children with a person you're not compatible with, meaning don't get married young or at all, don't have children younger at all, and if you will stay sober, and then you'll have a significantly better chance of not repeating the same bullshit you've seen me do, you've seen the people around you do, perhaps you're in the position you did it as well. So anyways, I'm about done with my soapbox, and I'm gonna go work on this ranch for a little bit, and I'm gonna enjoy the sobriety and the clouds. There's actually a few clouds today. It's nice. They're actually puffy clouds. There's no streaks in the sky. It's kind of unique. I don't see this very often. It's actually beautiful, which is why I've decided to get out here. It's kind of cool, but it's nice and sunny, and I'm able to get me some vitamin D on the skin. So anyway, I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to, people think I'm a misogynist for calling out, single motherhood and noticing patterns. I can't help it. I notice patterns. There's a big pattern. Drunk men tend to be worthless. Single moms tend to not be able to raise kids in a healthy manner that have good healthy self-esteem and good work ethic. They just can't. And again, I'm not blaming women. And ultimately, I'll be on record in this, and I'll let y'all go, but the people who call me a misogynist, y'all are really, really misguided. Nobody and no group of people is above criticism, first and foremost. And second of all, when it really comes to it, down to, if you want to know my real opinion about why this world is so screwed up, it ain't because of women. That's the perception. But it's because of weak-minded, physically weak men probably didn't have a father figure in their life, or during significant portions of their life. Weak men are the ones who allowed all these single moms to rule the roost. All these single moms to get to where we are today. It's weak men that caused it. And so for all you people that call me a misogynist, will you now call me a misandrious? I don't know what the word is. Misandry, the hatred of men. Well, you now say that I'm engaging in misandry, hating all men for pointing out the glaringly obvious. I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments. Y'all take care. I'm out of here. Bye. Consider not hitting your cheer-ins.